From Montana's news leader, this is the MTN 530 News.
Good evening, everyone. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Russ Riesinger. Another day and another spike in coronavirus cases as Montana added 153 new cases this morning and 3 more deaths. One of those deaths, a woman in her 80s from Yellowstone County. 26 people have now died from the virus here in Yellowstone County. Richland County also reported a death this morning, while Gallatin County saw its 3rd patient pass away this afternoon. This brings our state's death toll to 61. Yellowstone County added the highest number of new cases today with 39, followed by Flathead and Gallatin County. Each of those had 17. There are nearly 1,500 active cases throughout the state, with 71 people currently in the hospital. Well, July saw a huge jump in coronavirus cases across the state of Montana and also here in Yellowstone County. Take a look at how those numbers increased in the last 30 days alone. We started the month with 1,085 coronavirus cases in the state. That number jumped to 3,967 as of yesterday. Yellowstone County cases increased from 206 to more than 1,000 in the past 30 days. While the virus is more deadly in older people, younger people ages 20 to 29 accounted for the largest percentage of cases in July, 27%. The 30 to 39 age group accounted for 16% of the cases, and the 40 to 49 age group accounted for the 3rd highest percentage of cases with 12%. It's affecting males and females equally. One more case involving males in the state so far out of all the cases. And so far, about 6% of all the cases in Montana have required hospitalization. The mortality rate so far in Montana is 1.5%. If my calculations are correct, that's about 15 times higher than what the death rate is typically for the flu. An investigation is underway right now in Madison County after a deadly plane crash near Ennis. The small Cessna aircraft went down in mountainous territory or terrain on its way to Jackson, Wyoming from Helena. A passenger was able to call for help. A grounds crew found the plane about 4 hours later. Now, according to the FAA, 3 people were on board when it crashed. 1 person did not survive. The other 2 were seriously injured. A helicopter was used to take victims from the scene. School District 2 started registration today to determine how many students want school online and how many want to attend classes in person at the schools. Superintendent Greg Upham says on the first day of registration, about 300 people, or students I should say, wanted remote learning. 1,600 chose live instruction. Registration for both is available on the school district's website. Upham says a survey shows an estimated 5,000 will choose online out of the 17,600 students in the district. That has made it more challenging in preparing for the new school year.
It's like building a brand new school district. You know, you have to realize that 5,000 students, that's bigger than most of the school districts in Montana. In order to build the sections and staff that, that's going to take some time. So we have some urgency with that, but at the same time, we want parents to be able to make informed decisions. So we want to make sure that we answer all their questions and communicate effectively before they do make that decision.
Upham says questions from parents include what does the online school day look like, the commitment it will take, classes available, and software requirements. The deadline for registration is August 9th. Certainly a stressful time for parents with back to school just weeks away. Will mom and dad be the teacher, and is it safe to send your child if school opens up? MTN's Donna Kelly sat down with former network correspondent Dr. Nancy Snyderman, who shared her expertise as a pediatrician.
So I'd rather have a mask on my face than a tube down my throat.
Dr. Nancy Snyderman makes it clear masks are important. We started off our interview with them on and moved further than 6 feet apart and were outside, so she was comfortable with us taking them off. As the time to buy crayons and school supplies draws near, it's an anxious time for children and parents about whether to go back to a regular classroom.
You have to look in your own backyard. If you live in an area where, frankly, there are very few cases, you might be just fine sending your children to school. However, if I lived in one of the Midwestern states that's now blowing up, or Texas or Arizona or Florida, I would be hard-pressed to think that I could socially distance, make a child wear a mask, deal with teachers who a lot of them are not going to be happy coming back to school, and figure it all out.
Dr. Snyderman says the goal should be getting our kids back into school, but not while risking their lives or those of their loved ones.
I worry that if schools rush, as some economies have, we are going to have pages in the backs of yearbooks that are going to be in remembrance of.
If a parent or a child is scared to go back to school, should you make them?
It's dealer's choice. There's no one size fits all here. If you can flatten the curve and you have no new cases and you can do distance seating, then by all means, school is better than social isolation.
It's a delicate balance.
This is going to be a lost academic year for a lot of kids, and I worry about that. But I also don't want small coffins lining our streets.
The doctor is also worried about what kids pick up at school and bring home.
A child may be asymptomatic, but bring home a virus to a grandparent. That's a big cost too.
Navigating this, be tuned in to your child to watch for depression or anxiety and how it shows up.
Children who suddenly can't sleep at night, they don't have the friends they did because of social isolation. They're spending too much time on the internet and you don't frankly know what they're doing. Their eating habits change. Suddenly they're eating too much or not enough. Anything that you know is a change of your child's schedule pre-crisis should be a cause for concern.
Some good talking points for your children right now.
Explain to kids this is not forever. This is a temporary thing. And if we all just do our bit right now, schools will be able to reopen and recess will look the same and we'll get our sports back.
In Big Timber, Donna Kelly, MTN News.
And Dr. Steinerman says she hopes there's a good vaccine in early 2021. Many Montanans were receiving that additional $600 through their unemployment to help make ends meet, and despite those payments going away, there are still recourses in Billings that can help you balance and budget. HRDC is a community action agency that helps people with everything from paying bills to scholarships for daycare to fighting evictions. Earlier today, Q2's Krista Rose spoke with the Director of Operations, Mark Burr, via Zoom about how HRDC's is able to help many folks in need.
If I'm a family and I'm sitting there and I'm like, hey, I'm going to have a real tough time this month or next month paying my bills or paying my rent, what's the first thing I should do?
Well, no, honestly, I would say come see us for LEAP. If we're able to help you with any kind of utility bill that you might be facing, that definitely helps out the families because it's one less thing that you have to try to make a difficult choice in what you're paying this month.
You know, if you guys can help me pay that electric bill, then that money can go then towards rent or food or something else.
Exactly, and that's basically what we're trying to do. We're trying to make sure that we provide you guys with resources that can help you not have to make that difficult choice of, am I paying this or will I be paying this bill over here?
And for more information about HRDC and all the programs they offer, you can log on to ktvq.com. Some big changes in store for downtown Billings this fall when the Hub Drop-In Center closes its doors on October 1st. The decision to close the facility came this week as the Regional Mental Health Center Board deals with an estimated $400,000 budget gap. Located near the busy corner of North 27th and 6th Avenue North, the Hub offers help to the homeless with a variety of mental health services and meals. Board Chair Carl Seelstad told MTN News the decision to close the Hub was difficult, but was made to protect the organization as it deals with an ongoing budget shortfall. Seelstad said services provided at the Hub will move to other agencies in town, but drop-in service and noon meals will be discontinued. The Health Center Board plans to discuss future plans for the Hub building at its August meeting, and selling the property is one of the options being looked at. Now, per capita fees from 13 South Central Montana counties support the Regional Mental Health Center budget. Up next on tonight's Q2 530 News, we're going to hop in for a ride along with Montana Highway Patrol as they look to crack down on DUIs. And in sports, what will high school sports look like across Montana this fall? Coaches and athletes share their thoughts with Scott on getting back to school safely.
And coming up in weather, we got some showers popping up in the southwest corner of the state and over the Beartooth. Will they be coming to the Billings area? We will have the answer coming up in a few more minutes.